Whenever I see any plant on the road, I feel like bringing it home. And once I thought I should not steal them. Second time I thought, what if this plant belongs to nobody? But the third time I actually took cuttings of the plant, and you know what? That plant really prospered and bloomed and has taken over my balcony. So chalo, in this video I am going to be showing you how to take cuttings of the plants which are growing on the roadside. So this is a ZZ plant right here, and if you don't know, this garden is maintained by me. I have so much of extra compost that sometimes I donate my compost to this garden, and look at this garden is hale and hearty. So I am going to take some ZZ, but because we are taking it from the road, the first thing is to take cuttings which are of the plants which are already dying or have been trampled upon. So here there is one such ZZ which is almost falling down. So here is one such ZZ which is almost falling down. So let's rescue this plant by cutting it. Wow, and it was so easy to cut, and I got a free ZZ. The second type of cuttings that you can take of any of the roadside plants are the ones which are just blooming. So this one is like in a baby stage. I am taking this one. It's very easy to cut them also, hence I am suggesting that you take this one. Let's take 4 cuttings at least. There are some more which are just withering away and getting damaged, but look healthy. Three and 4. The 4th one I can see right there. Yes, even this one is falling down and withering away, so I am rescuing it. 4 cuttings of ZZ. What else can you see here? You can see my favorite Syngonium. So I'll also show you how to take Syngonium cuttings. So how do you take the cuttings of a Syngonium? First, you study the plant and you cut it in the same way like you are going to propagate it without damaging the plant. Just because this plant doesn't belong to somebody, it doesn't give you the right to completely kill the plant. So let me show you how to take Syngonium cuttings. This Syngonium can be cut as a whole, So if you study the root structure right here, and I am showing it to you. So see, this root, this is already detached. So this is one cutting which we have almost got. And if I wouldn't have rescued the plant here, such a beautiful Syngonium would have withered away. So I am just cutting it here where it's anyways going to get rotten. Actually rescuing a plant like you rescue a cat or a dog, because if I wouldn't have come and intervened, this Syngonium would have died. Philodendron, lemon and lime, just lying here. So this is a Philodendron, lemon and lime, which people in Europe are going crazy about. This is just growing like this right here. So you need not take a very big cutting because this plant grows very, very rapidly. Just take a small cutting where you can find a node. So if I take this one out, you can find a node right here. So I'm just taking this one cutting because this is a rapid grower. So what do you do when you get the plant home? Generally, you should wash the plant and see that if there are any bugs or mealy bugs or some kind of infection on the plant, because of course it was just growing on the roadside. But now what I'm going to do is, I haven't even washed the plant. I am just going to propagate this plant and directly pot it in normal soil. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm just removing some impurities, and if you want you can also make 2 cuttings out of this plant, but I am not going to do that. Just going to plant it as it is. Now I already have this plant, but it was growing a lot and then it suddenly lost all its leaves and new leaves started coming out. So now why do I put this in another pot? There is absolutely no need. So I'm planting it in an existing pot. So now I'm not going to plant the entire thing. I'm going to take 2 cuttings. Always cut near the node. So yeah, I'm cutting it here. Just a simple cut. And yeah, this leaf can also remain because this node is sufficient to get new roots. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I'm just going to put it inside. Okay. Never trouble the node a lot because that is where your plant is growing from. So I am making a hole here in this pot. Okay, and gently pushing it down, gently, and no dumbbell hands. Okay, yes, that's it. Now yeah, I'm going to use this node because this node has a lot of leaves growing, and like I told you in my last video, I don't like cutting leaves. So again the same procedure is going to be followed. Going to make a hole here and just place the plant here. Now if you ask me what is this soil mixture which I have been using for this, it's simple soil, 80% soil, 10% coco peat, and I've just sprinkled compost on top. And because this is a hardy plant, you don't need to do much. That is done. I'm just going to water this plant and up it goes. Now there is a detailed video on ZZ plant propagation or repotting, but this is the actual way I propagate a ZZ plant. And when I told other plant enthusiasts, they were shocked. But my already existing ZZ is taken from the same garden and it's blooming and it's growing new shoots. So let me tell you a very basic and a simple way to grow your ZZ. Okay, directly from cuttings, no rooting it in water, directly placing it in soil. And I am also showing you a very rustic way that I use on a normal day-to-day basis is how I plant my how I propagate my plants. Okay, so this plant is actually a plant which I tried rescuing and growing and this and that. It was a croton which my building friend gave me because she was leaving the building in a hurry. There were many plants left just like that. I was able to propagate her aglaonemas, I was able to propagate her aloe vera, but this one croton just gave up on me. By the way, if you want to see a detailed video on my croton, that's also there in this channel. Now, this plant is dead, so why waste the pot? We can still use the soil. Okay. Just taking some soil. And you know guys, people sometimes overthink the way they should pot their plants and the soil they should use. It's not rocket science. I'm taking the baby ZZ. Okay, just placing it here, not cutting any leaves. No. Whatever I don't like, I'm not going to do. This ZZ is also perfect because there is ample of space here. Just placing it like this. This ZZ is also perfect, ample of space. One leaf which was not good had to go. This ZZ is cut from here, okay, so you should always check if it's got cut or something. Yeah, it is. So this becomes one This can also be propagated. It's a healthy stem. And then I think 2 leaves have to go. Leaves are the nodes from where the roots grow. Simple. Okay. And last one. Ample of space. Potted just like that. Now why is it falling? Because soil नहीं है इसमें. Soil कहाँ से लेना है? ये plants. The more simple you keep your gardening process, and I don't know why some of the people on YouTube just complicate by using big words. Like I said, agriculture or planting or gardening is not a very difficult hobby. Otherwise, so many people, so many hundreds and thousands of years back would not be able to grow crops. At times there were no chemicals, nothing. Of course, the air and the soil and water, everything was pure, but still, why complicate something age old and simple? That's why I'm showing you the way it is done. Even as a kid, I used to do these things. And one more thing I have noticed is that if your intention towards these plants is right, they feel your energy. So always say nice things like welcome home, new ZZs. You need not be like a stupid lady talking to all the plants and singing for them. You need not go to that extreme. But you can always say welcome home, I hope you grow. Yeah. Yeah, so we are almost done. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to sprinkle compost on the top. Now why am I adding compost? Because this plant which had died, I have taken the soil from that plant. Now that plant might have used all the nutrients up. So where will the plant get its nutrients? From compost. Let me quickly get compost and show you how to sprinkle compost on top. So this is something we used to do as kids, Take dead leaves, make a chura out of it and spray it on the plants. Little did we know that these dead leaves have carbon in it. Carbon is very important for plants to grow because plants breathe in carbon dioxide and plants are also made of carbon, right? We have studied all this and forgot. And this is compost, which is rich in so many things. Now, I once added compost inside the plant and that did not do well. So always add compost just as a top layer. And of course when you add water, compost will get absorbed. No need to think so much.